Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And good Sunday evening, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour, in fact, until 1 a.m. So for the next 2 hours, 800-848-9222. And a new video, Savannah Guthrie tells her mother's kidnapper, quote, "It's never too late to do the right thing." Savannah Guthrie posted a new video appeal late today, pleading with her mother, Nancy's alleged kidnapper, that it's never too late for them to do the right thing. This, of course, 2 weeks after she was abducted. The FBI has collected DNA from a glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home, which may come from the armed suspect seen at the 84-year-old's door. You saw that video the night she disappeared. Also this hour, Don Lemon was arraigned late Friday afternoon, and he is still running off at the mouth like diarrhea. Be careful, Don Lemon. You're about to go to jail. The race for New York governor is starting to heat up. Incumbent Democrat Kathy Hochul and the Republican nominee, Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, plus Obama. Obama is speaking out on that social media post that the president's team posted an aide and then took down after the outcry and controversy over it, showing Obama and his wife as monkeys, as apes, and Obama also in another video approving of Bad Bunny's halftime performance. Surprise, surprise, surprise there. But let's start with this new video released just hours ago, a new appeal from Savannah Guthrie.
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
So what I'm trying to figure out from a journalism standpoint, how many of those words are actually Savannah's and how many are from the FBI trying to send direct messages to the kidnapper or kidnappers, plural, in this case. 800-848-9222. We see all your calls. We're beginning with them momentarily. Don Lemon arraigned in Minnesota on late Friday afternoon, and Victor Davis Hanson appearing on a podcast going after Lemon. Lemon has said that the Trump administration is going after him because he's known, he's famous, he's black, he's gay. And Victor Davis Hanson has this and say in response.
I think Don Lemon said, well, they just went after me because I'm so well known and famous and I'm black and I'm gay. I don't think they went after you at all. I think you went after yourself, and you're not famous anymore. You're infamous. When you say to anybody, Don Lemon, they think of all the stupid things he said, how he was fired. Remember why he was fired? He said basically women that were in their 30s or 40s or 50s were all through, that they were too old, that they aged different. Remember that? You should look at Martha McCallum or Laura Ingraham, and they look a lot younger than Don Lemon, and they're not age-wise, but they look like they're 30 years old.
And they're very talented still and doing a great job.
Megyn Kelly's another person. I mean, you look at and when for some ignoramus to get on there and start lecturing people, then double down on it about women are all through or they age differently than men, and it's so sad. It's just crazy.
And you talk about grandstanding. That's exactly what Don Lemon was doing when he came out of court Friday afternoon before the masses. He was talking to the masses.
I wanted to say this isn't just about me. This is about all journalists, especially here in the United States. First off, I'd like to thank everyone again for their support to my colleagues, countless journalists around the world, the Lemon Nation, my family and my friends. You all have showed up for me in a real way, and I am extremely grateful for that. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. For more than 30 years, I've been a journalist, and the power and protection of the First Amendment has been the underpinning of my work. The First Amendment, the freedom of the press, the bedrock of our democracy. The events before my arrest and what's happened since show that people are finally realizing what this administration is all about. The process is the punishment with them. And like all of you here in Minnesota, the great people of Minnesota, I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these baseless charges, and I will not be silenced. Thank you very much.
So if you listen to Don Lemon, he's Nelson Mandela and Dr. King all put together in one. That's what he wants you to believe. Absolutely a joke. 800-848-9222. Let's start with some of your telephone calls on this Sunday night. Dominic Carter here with you. Let's begin with line 4. Robert in North Carolina. Good evening, Robert. What's on your mind? Robert, are you there? Okay, Robert's not there. Let's go to Brian, line 1 in Florida. Brian, good evening. What's on your mind?
Dominic, it's your Cortland brother from another Cortland mother.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Good. It's funny. It's funny that you're calling tonight. And let me just bear with me for a second, because I wasn't going to mention this, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I lost a friend tonight of 40 years that I went to Cortland with, right? I'm not going to say her name because she's got Trump derangement syndrome, and she just can't live with the fact that I'm saying nice things about President Trump. So this 40-year relationship, we were both freshmen together at Cortland.
EOP?
Yeah, EOP, yes. The summer EOP. And I have a video up now saying President Trump is not a racist. I'm not one of these politicians that deliver one message. I'm not a politician to begin with, but deliver one message to one community, another message. My message is universal. I say what I mean what I say, and I say what I know to be fact. The man is not a racist. This woman is blowing a gasket. She's like, my account has to be, somebody had to hack my account. There's no way that I could say something like that. Can you help me? And you went to Cortland. Why are people in such denial and in such Trump derangement syndrome? I've known this woman 40 years and ended the relationship tonight.
Funny, but not funny that I say that, because, I was in a fraternity. I'm in a fraternity. And I've seen the stuff that I've seen on Facebook is just insane.
This was on Facebook.
The derangement syndrome of brothers and, guys that I thought, we're friends and just, and Dominic, what's crazy is, and this isn't even like one out of like 1,000. Any person that I know that stops talking to somebody about politics, every single one of them is not conservative or Republican.
Wow.
I mean, is that the case with you, or?
Well, no. In this case, I cut her off because I can accept that. I could accept the stupid comments from some ignorant person that don't know what they're talking about. But this is somebody I went to school with, and if you feel this way, this strongly, you know how to reach me privately. Meaning, she knows how to send me an email or to text me. And you're grandstanding online because you are of color and you can't accept that a man of color is a supporter of Trump. And like I said to this person, I said, is it possible that maybe I know something about the political process that you don't know? Or maybe I know something about President Trump that you don't know? And she went through this litany of things, all based on race, of why I should not back Trump. I just find it's maddening to me. And it's 40 years, Brian. I've known this woman 40 years.
Well, it's crazy, and I don't think the listeners really have an understanding of you and your experience at Cortland. I do, and you were even 10, 15 years before me, and I, and playing basketball and just being a guy that's just, friendly with everybody.
Right.
I had friends in EOP, and there were like maybe 18 EOP students at that time, and I was 90 to 95. So when you were there, there probably weren't too many more than that. I mean, what you have done, Dominic, seriously, you're an amazing guy, man. You really are. Like, and the listeners don't have any. I don't think most of them really get the experience that you have gone through your entire life. Let alone just go back to high school and go back to Cortland. What you experienced, what you went through, and to have the views that you do is nothing other than you working hard and doing what you did.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's exactly what it is. It's not because I just love President Trump because I have nothing else to do. It's because I'm all in the nitty gritty in the political process, and the man is a winner. And the fact of the matter is Kamala Harris was the worst thing that could ever, and of course she backed Kamala Harris. And I didn't even attack her on, how could anybody in their right mind support that woman? I mean, it's funny you called tonight, Brian, because it's like, I'm just, and I wasn't going to bring this up. I really wasn't. A 40-year relationship ended tonight because she couldn't keep her hatred of Trump in check and tried to challenge me.
Yeah, no, I see how it's blinded people of decades-long relationships, let alone family members. And again, like I said, it's not even. It's just I hate to say it, but it's one side that just anyone that I know that has stopped talking to somebody over this ridiculous stuff is, you're 30, 40 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's Democrats and liberals and non-Republicans that are doing it. And not that there's not that there aren't Republicans that are doing it, but it's just amazing. I've lived up and down both coasts. I've worked for 3 Fortune 5 companies, for the second largest companies in 4 different industries. And, I know a lot of people. I've lived in a lot of places. I've traveled around the world. And so I know what it's like in Baltimore. I know what it's like in Philadelphia. I know what it's like in New York. I know what it's like in San Francisco. I've seen what works and what doesn't because I've lived there.
Thank you.
Yep.
And, she's an educator that's worked in maybe 1 or 2 markets. She's worked in Florida, I believe, her entire life. Yeah. What do you know about the world?
Dominic, I have friends that are teachers in New York. They literally, they're in the same town that we grew up in. They've taught in maybe the district next to them. They've had one job their entire lives and are about to retire very well,
right.
and they deserve it.
Right.
And they're going to tell me about business and what works and what doesn't, and governments and what works and what doesn't. And they've literally done one thing their entire lives in one little area, and they're going to tell me what works and what doesn't.
Well, I can tell you, Brian, my eyes were opened in the '88 presidential campaign. So I'm out of grad school and I'm assigned to travel around the country 24 hours a day covering the presidential campaign of Jesse Jackson. And what was eye-opening to me, this is not to slight any community, every Jackson, of course, his base was the black community. And every black community we went to all across the country, just like you just said, as you've done in business, but every black community we went to all had the same common denominators in terms of you turn on the local news at 6 or 11 in these cities all across America. And the black community, they were all the same. There's a Dr. King Boulevard somewhere, and they were all, this is back in '88, all distressed communities. You turn on the newscast, it was the same lead story, just changed the names and the specific crime. And so you could see these trends building going way back then to '88. And so that's been my experience. Every day I was in a different city, a different state, but yet it was the same headline over and over and over again. And I'm being honest with you, Brian, I would often say, my wife would do the same. Please tell me the suspect is not black. Male black. Police are looking for male black. Male black. Male black. Male black. And people, we're just delusional. We don't want to be honest about, and I'm about being honest. It's as simple as that. So what's on your mind, Brian?
Yeah, no. So speaking of delusional, just so many times I'll put the TV on and it's on an NBC channel or CBS from the sports that I watched the day before, right? So
okay.
Today's a great example. I was watching golf yesterday and I turn on today and CBS is on and Holman's on. I mean, and that guy, he's so great. He should be. He is.
He's the real deal.
He is the real deal. And delusion. The guy's been there for 40 years. He got presidential commendations from Obama.
Absolutely.
So it's like, okay, he's this or that, but he wasn't when when ICE deported 3 million immigrants under Obama. That was okay. That wasn't that was okay. But now it's not. So yeah, it's good to see him as the mouthpiece now.
Absolutely. And not just the mouthpiece, the man getting the job done, period.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, nothing but love going out to you. You see, I really feel that it was in the stars for this to get out tonight because I wasn't going to tell the story.
Dominic, I'm always, I really do have this, I've got this feeling about things that are meant to be and things happen. It's just, it's good, man. I really appreciate you, man. It's good to talk to you every now and then. Look forward to the next time.
Absolutely. Thank you for the wonderful call. So, folks, I kid you not. So, 1982, I'm coming out of the projects, the Throgs and Neck houses, and I'm praying that I'm going to make it in college. My family didn't have much money. My stuff was put into a duffel bag, and I was given maybe $40. That was it. And I had a bus ticket to get to Cortland, New York. And the rest was on me, period. Almost like what you hear these football players, what they go through. And I get up to Cortland, New York. I get off the bus, and, I wasn't hung up on race. There were maybe this was the Summer Institute. We had to prove ourselves in the summer and to get up to date so that we wouldn't just come in like the rest of the freshmen in September and then, flunk out of school because we just weren't ready. And so this young lady, I'm not going to say her name, I ended it because she was so foul with her Facebook comments tonight. She came in from Nyack, New York, and I came in from the Bronx, New York. And we were both looking to the stars. Looking to the stars. I had $40 in a duffel bag. And most of the students were like me that came in to the Summer Institute. And so she went on to be a teacher, and I went on to be a journalist. But let me tell you how people are absolute phonies. So as long as I was out there fighting on behalf of the black community, then I was a hero. Then I could walk on water. As long as I was covering police brutality, then I was a hero, and then I could walk on water. I'm the same guy that did those things, but I'm now much more mature with the political process. I'm mature to the degree of supporting police 1,000%. I'm mature enough to have gotten off that Democrat plantation and think for myself. And because of that, you should have heard the way this woman was on. It's like she was talking to President Trump. I don't want to read her comments because I don't want to embarrass her like that. But I've known this woman 40 years. 40 years. We were never romantically involved. I've known her 40 years. And she threw it all away tonight because of her Trump derangement syndrome. And she's basically demanding that I go against President Trump. So I don't have my own brain. I can't make my own decisions. I do this for a living. You are playing politics. You're reading what you see on social media and maybe in the newspapers. This is what I do for a living. I am an expert at this. So there's a reason why I'm supporting Trump. I see your telephone calls coming in right now. But what I'm going to do, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to Steve in Elmont, Steve in Massapequa, Jim in Secaucus. Among the calls, we're going to deal with Hochul and Bruce Blakeman and Obama. Obama is speaking out on that meme and also on Bad Bunny. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Next up, a laughing session from the Laughing Cow. Now, unpeel a wedge of the Laughing Cow light spreadable cheese, a delicious snack with 2 grams of protein and 25 calories per wedge.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And so here in New York, the race for governor is starting to heat up. And obviously, the governor's polling has shown her that she can score political points by constantly talking about ICE. And if you say, "Good morning, Governor Hochul," she says, "I'm against ICE." Well, you're having a good day, Governor? I am against ICE. The state of New York will not cooperate with ICE. Listen to Governor Hochul.
You know, sometimes when you read the news, you just can't believe what you're reading. And I can't tell you how shaken I was to see the article about the increased number of children in this country being snatched from laundromats or when they're helping their parents on the streets or going to school. You look at these images of these little kids, little 5-year-olds, little 7-year-olds. I gotta ask, what parent in America is okay with that? Picture your own child, your own little one, staring at the side of a vehicle, motionless, with a little Spider-Man backpack. I mean, these kids didn't do anything wrong. We don't want open borders. We need to enforce our laws. But can't we show some humanity and some decency when it comes to little kids? We had a 3rd grader snatched out of her bed here in New York months ago. Finally got her back. I just want to say this. If this was your child being sent to a detention center with barbed wire and lacking good food and medical treatment, what would you have to say? I think it's time for parents to stand together and say, this is not a country we want our kids to grow up in either.
Governor Hochul, I'm not going to take a cheap shot and play the clip of you stating that you have black kids in the Bronx that don't know what a computer is. This is the same governor. So is it the Insensitive comment, Hochul, black kids don't in the Bronx. I was once one of them 50 years ago. Don't know what computers are. Or is this the governor anti-ice baby Hochul? Which one is it? I'm confused. On the Republican side, Bruce Blakeman, the Nassau County executive, accepting the Republican nomination for governor. The race is going to be interesting.
Fresh off his endorsement as the Republican nominee for governor of New York at the party's convention this week in Nassau County, Bruce Blakeman also receiving the state's Conservative Party endorsement for governor.
This is a party that's very much involved in American values and cutting taxes and cutting regulations.
In a campaign that even some supporters see as a tough battle against incumbent Kathy Hochul, the Nassau County native says he's ready to fight for all New Yorkers.
I will cut your energy costs in half when I become governor. We're going to create jobs, economic prosperity, economic development, so our young people can stay in this state. They don't have to move out to get a job, and our businesses will stay here.
That's from News 12 The Bronx. We see all of your calls. We're going to get to them in 1 second. But let's talk Obama for a second. So he does these podcasts. And now we have to set this up. Obama talk. You know what that means. It's almost like word salad. It's like the smart man's word salad, the college professor's word salad, right? So what should take 5 words takes Obama 15 to 20. So that's a given, okay, right? So for every word. So first, this is Obama reacting, asked about the apes, monkey meme that the Trump campaign put on the president's Truth Social, I should say the White House, and then an aide posted it. President Trump had it taken down. The president has not apologized. I can respect that. If he would apologize, it would be nice. If he doesn't apologize, there's no skin off my apple. And the reason being because Trump never apologizes. My whole thing on this is that there are bigger fish to fry. Okay. Was it reprehensible? Absolutely. But it's not the end of the world. This is Obama responding.
The first time former President Obama is publicly addressing President Trump's racist post depicting him and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. What is he saying?
Yeah, this was on a podcast interview. It was wide-ranging, and the former President Obama, he discussed how there is no longer any decorum, but he said that most Americans still find this kind of behavior troubling. He also said there's a, quote, clown show that's happening on social media and television. Take a listen to what he said.
First of all, I think it's important to recognize that the majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling. There's this sort of clown show that's happening in social media and on television, and what is true is that there doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost.
And as a note, President Trump still has not apologized for the racist video, and the White House has taken down the video. It since has, but it's blaming it on an unnamed staffer. So that video also only coming down after an outpouring of outrage from both sides of the aisle, including from some of the president's closest allies on Capitol Hill.
So that's Obama on the meme, right? And, okay, I'm a straight shooter, so I'm just going to give it to you, right? So thank you, retired NYPD officer Sherry in Brooklyn. Riley Gaines, the college swimmer, she's been out of school, 2 years, and she had lost her records to the transgender swimmer. I guess that's what we call them. So Riley Gaines has commented on this. And Riley Gaines says, such a tragic loss, totally preventable. When will we learn it doesn't have to be this way? So a former Team USA figure skater, Gabrielle Linehan, I believe it's pronounced Linehan, was gunned down at a Starbucks drive-thru in St. Louis, Missouri, by a career criminal with a criminal record dating back to 1986. Now, I just tell you the facts. I know you don't like the facts, but I just tell you the facts. Don't blame the messenger. She's white. Guess what his race is? The guy that did it. So how many times does this have to happen? She's white. Guess what his race is? When I say guess, you already know what it is. All I have to do is say guess. And you know what it is. You know what time it is. But my liberal friends, oh no, you can't say that, Dominic. You can't say that the suspect is black. Well, the suspect is black 9 out of 10. But you can't say that, Dominic. That's not good for our people. But the suspect is black 9 out of 10 times. But don't say that, Dominic. Don't say that on the radio. Okay, so I won't say it. And when it's your friend that's gunned down by that black suspect, what do you want me to say then? Totally preventable. St. Louis, Missouri, place I've been to many times, doesn't have to be this way. But it is. Why is it this way? Because of Democrats. This is exactly why it's this way. So now, before we go right back to your telephone call, Stephen Elmont, I'm coming to you. Obama on Bad Bunny.
The other side does the mean, angry,
demagoguery,
exclusive, us, them, divisive politics. That's their home court.
Yeah.
Our court is coming together. Our court is, look, a great example. Wasn't political. Bad Bunny's halftime show.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Well, it resonated. It was smart because it wasn't preaching. It was showing. It was demonstrating and displaying. This is what a community is. And people who did not speak Spanish and have never been to Puerto Rico, they saw that elderly woman serving a drink and the kids dancing with their grandmas, and it was intergenerational, and it was a reminder of what Dr. King called the beloved community can look like, which is not perfect, and it's messy sometimes, and I guarantee you not all those lyrics were probably politically correct, and if you translated them, and they're people are complicated, but there was a sense of, all right, there's room for everybody here.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is where we win.
Well, Mr. President, where was the room for the American people in that halftime show? I'm just saying. So I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex G-Dog says, I read the post on Facebook from your ex-friend. She should have contacted you privately. I sent you a friend request, Greg. Okay, so Greg, I tried to have a little patience, and so I just unfriended her. But as soon as I'm done at 1:01 this morning, she will be blocked. And this is someone I've known 40 years. We went to college together, started in the same program, and she blew our relationship over President Trump because she hates his guts. And it just drives people like her and Teddy absolutely insane that a black man likes Trump. Just can't be. Get on that plantation, boy. Do what we tell you to do. You can't like Trump because we told you, boy, that you can't like Trump. Stephen Elmont, line 5. What's on your mind, Steve?
Yeah, hi, Dominic. I do agree with both of Obama's quotes, but in regards to the long-lost friend, which is what I called about originally, I have a friend of mine from high school, graduated in 88, but we were friends before that. He's the godfather of my kids. I have twins, boy and girl. And a couple of years ago, during the election, every single thing that Trump says or did, horrible. Everything that Biden does is great. I'm like, yo, dude, you don't have anything else better to do, man? It's like, I don't care. He was calling me every day. And I'm just like, listen, leave me alone with this stuff. Because of that, we haven't spoken in over 2 years. Wow. My kids speak to him, but we haven't spoken in 2 years. And the thing about it is, a lot of my family members, they all say, they call Trump your boy. And I'm not a supporter of Trump. I think I tell you that every time I mention Trump, I always say And I don't like Trump. I'm not a supporter of Trump, but I can be fair. If he does something that helps, then why not just say he does it? He's done a lot of things that I agree with and a lot of things that I don't agree with. So you're not going to be able to change my mind and just make me go with what everybody else is saying because you're wrong. I'm not trying to be wrong. I'm trying to make my own mind up.
And I hear you, Steve, like you said, you're not really a supporter of Trump, but you can be fair. And at the end of the day, that's all. But Steve, before I let you go, help me out with this. So I've been covering politics for 40 years. I'm considered one of the best to do it. And I'm going to engage in a silly conversation with you on Facebook? I do this for a living. You're doing this, my friend, as a hobby.
And you're very good at it. But one thing that you said that I wasn't sure of, you were able, and I followed you since U.S., New York One days, and how you were able to be on all of the minority hot topics and stuff like that. So if 1 minute you're covering police brutality, and now you're mature, so you support the law enforcement, are you still able to cover police brutality? Of
course I could. If a case comes around, because I can tell from a case that, generally speaking, the moment I'm given the details of the case, I can tell if it's legit generally. But the difference now, before I was much younger, I'm straight out of school, straight out of the projects, of the community, went into journalism to be a voice for the voiceless. But I just find it remarkable, Steve, that everything I did back then was perfect because I was a diehard Democrat. But now that I see things differently, I'm enemy of the people. It's just so yes, if there was a case today where it was something shaky involving law enforcement, today I will think twice about it if I got to go negative against the cop. But I strongly believe that officers of the law should be given the benefit of the doubt because, and we do it all the time, Stephen. Thank you for the great call because I got to move on. All the time you folks call up here Monday morning quarterbacking. Well, I would have spun around and did a cartwheel and then shot him in his left wrist to drop the gun. Would talk like that. It doesn't work like that in the real world. But 40 years, and I swear, folks, I wasn't even going to talk about it tonight. It wasn't on my radar screen until Brian, who went to Cortland. And so you know what that says to me? That God wanted me to put this out there. I wasn't going to do it. 40 years I've known this woman. We walked into the college together, scared to death, both of us, not knowing if we were going to be able to cut the mustard and be able to make it. I graduated a year early, went on into journalism, and took journalism by storm, not knowing if I was going to make it. And 40 years later, you going to come at me over Trump? Because I said the man is not a racist, because I know within my heart he is not a racist. And you're going to come at me over that? Let's go to Angie, line 4, Long Island. Angie, what's going on?
Hi, Dominic. I'm so glad you brought up Obama. I was just reading from the American Immigration Council. According to TRAC, the Transactional Records, Obama, working with ICE, had 3 million deportations. Only 20% were serious criminals. Some were minor traffic convictions. And this is a man who wants to, review Trump for more humane deportation. He needs to practice what he preaches, apparently. And they actually called him the deportation in chief for the 21st century.
That's what he was. It's just that Obama did it with a smile and said it in many words. It was he did I'm not going to say worse. He did more than Trump did. But because people don't like Trump's personality and they think Obama is this great black saint, he can get away with it.
It's unbelievable. Some of them. Donald Trump is putting away dangerous criminals, not people who ran red lights. It's unbelievable. And, I think it's just, like you said, Trump derangement syndrome. They don't like him as a person. So no matter what he does, we're never going to win. These people are drinking some crazy Kool-Aid, as far as I'm concerned.
They are. Angie, I hear Trump derangement syndrome. I know it's real when Teddy calls and so on. But to lose a friend of 40 years.
No, I heard that.
Of 40 years because I said Trump is not a racist and you don't like that? And she's going to try and give me an example of the things that makes him a racist. If I said he's not a racist, do you really think you're going to change my mind when I'm basing my comment on personal interaction with the man and I know you don't know what you're talking about? You only going by headlines. I got to take a break, Angie, but thank you for the wonderful call. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Dominic Carter here with you on this Sunday night. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Oh, America is racist. America is racist. Dominic, just a few of the things I was called tonight. Sambo, Uncle Tom. Hey, Tom, did I forget to tell you your first name is Uncle? I mean, all types of things I've been called just this evening. And then I look at something on Twitter from World News Tonight, ABC. America is racist. America is racist. For the first time, 5 African-American surgeons now lead the trauma service at the preeminent Johns Hopkins Hospital. I've been there several times with Bloomberg when he went to the campus and to the hospital. This milestone, recognized during Black History Month, proves generations of determination behind every title. America is racist, Oh, it's racist. Norman in Brooklyn, line 4. What's on your mind, Norman?
Yes, Dominic. Look, what you're going through with your friend, we've all gone through it, especially a lot of people who call WABC. Anybody who had a conservative mindset, once Trump became president, it separated out everybody. I mean, my own sister and I haven't spoken to her in years. It's really difficult. Look, I'm called a Nazi. I'm Jewish, and I'm called a Nazi because I've supported Donald Trump. It's that 4 years of COVID. It changed everything. I had a friend who lives in Manhattan, my friend Billy, who I was friends with my whole life, and I don't know. Once the COVID came, he was the ultimate believer. He basically stayed in his apartment. Washed his hands like 10 times a day, was afraid of going, afraid of around what was around the corner. And me, I went out and did, protests and, hugged all my friends. Here I am. I'm completely healthy. I got through it, but it just changed everything. I made a lighthearted thing about how the Daily News didn't like Donald Trump. And because the covers were so anti-Trump.
Daily News.
He's like,
wait, you said the Daily News?
Yeah.
What's
and he
that?
said, no,
what's
I don't
that?
see it.
What's the Daily News?
They're fair to everybody. I'm like,
what's the Daily News, Norman?
What are you smoking, man?
Norman, are you listening to me? Are you just talking? What is the Daily News?
Go ahead, Dom.
What is the Daily News?
Good question, man.
We have a Daily News in New York. I thought that we used to have a few newspapers, and I thought that now we have the Times, the Post, and Long Island Newsday. There's a Daily News?
Yeah, they're still around, although I heard they just kind of like laid off everybody.
Can you say life support? Go ahead, Norman, quickly, please.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, it changed everything, and they just kind of, my friend turned my back on me, for being a conservative, and I see it with everybody. And so your story is not an unusual story. You're, and you form new friends and new associations, and you just,
But I'm going to be real with you. Things like that are not supposed to happen to me. People are supposed to understand Dominic is an expert at this. If Dominic is saying this, there's a reason why Dominic is not just talking because he doesn't have something else to do. This is based on fact. And I guess not when it comes to human emotion. Norman, thank you for the great call here. Let's see. Let's go to Jerry in New Jersey, line 5. Jerry, good evening on this Sunday night. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. First, I'd like to say that the Trump problem we're talking about tonight with losing friends and so forth works the opposite way, too. I had a person that I knew for 10 years, was a friend of my girlfriend's, and she never liked me. But one day we got talking politics. I liked Trump. She liked Trump. Now we're best of friends. Isn't that strange?
Not strange, but okay. Okay, it's good. So it's positive.
Happened. Interesting. So what I called about, though, is to say that, this sanctuary cities and sanctuary states should not be allowed, and someone should test it. But if they're not going to do that, then a governor like Greg Abbott should say, hey, we're going to have a sanctuary honest voting state. Well, what is that? Well, only people who are honest enough to bring an ID can vote in a federal election. And that's just our Texas law, whether you like it or not. I don't care what the federal law is. And just give them a taste of their own medicine. Sometimes maybe that's the best way to treat these idiots.
Well, I would instead put my hopes on President Trump and his administration getting rid of sanctuary cities. Because just today, the Attorney General Pam Bondi said not 4 years, by the end of the year, sanctuary cities will be gone. So, and when you look at what happened to Minnesota, right? It's one of our lead stories next hour, Jerry. And as far as those officials in Minnesota, they have blood on their hands, because if they had agreed with the Trump administration from day one, none of that would have been necessary. And now they're cooperating and letting ICE go to the jails and pick the guys up. So I bet on President Trump. Thank you for the call. I bet on President Trump and his administration when it comes to this. Let's go to Steve, line 4 in Montana. Steve, what's on your mind?
Well, Mr. Carter, I just wanted to say I understand exactly what you're feeling here. My little brother and me were best friends from childhood all the way up until 2016. I'm a veteran of the Cold War, not a combat veteran, but a veteran of the Cold War, and he knows I'm all about, the commies. And the last thing that he said to me was, I can't believe you, of all people, voted for a Russian spy. And he will not talk to me. He will not let me talk to his kids. Are you still there?
I'm listening.
So, it's beyond friendship. It's a brotherhood. These people, he started to go woke when he was in his 40s. And just because they believe what they're hearing and nothing else matters to them. And it breaks my heart.
Well, you're correct, Steve, and thank you for the call from Montana. I've never been to Montana. I've got to get to Montana, but please tell me there are no snakes. Are there snakes?
Don't do it in the wintertime.
Oh, too cold? Too much snow?
Oh, it's very cold. Well, it's very cold. Not this year, but usually, yes.
But how about the snakes, man? The snakes.
What snakes?
Oh, no snakes. But I got to worry about the moose, right?
Worry about the moose, worry about the rattlesnakes, worry about the grizzly bears, worry about the cold. You remember me, I'm the one that I like to eat the deer heart.
Oh, Matt Blaze, you hear this? Did you hear him say he likes to eat the deer heart, I think Steve just said?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Help me out here, Matt Blaze.
I don't know about that, but we got to watch the bears.
The grizzly bears. Not just the bear, the grizzly bears.
And snakes.
Hey, Steve, thank you for the great call.
The moose
and the moose, too. We got to watch out for the moose. Matt Blazer, I hope you got a list of all these animals in Montana. We're not going to Montana now because of what Steve just said. The grizzlies, the rattlesnakes. What else did he say? What else did he say?
The bears, the snakes, the elk.
Hour number 2 coming up.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
I don't know. We have to be careful about going to Montana now. Matt Blaze, I'll come to you in a few minutes about that. So the grizzly bears and the rattlesnakes and the moose. And was that it, Matt Blaze?
Bears, moose,
right,
snakes.
Right.
They probably got some kind of wild cat.
Right. But he said it's too cold right now. So if we went now, we're probably good.
No. Well, you don't want to go because it's cold. This is when they come out.
Oh, never mind.
You want to mess with a moose in the snow? Or a bear?
You know, moose are very heavy. Very heavy.
Well, are the bears hibernating? They hibernate in the winter. Maybe there's no bears. I don't know, man. Me in the wild? I don't know about that.
That's all I can say. I'll come back to you in a few minutes. You know, folks, all that happened, we see your telephone calls. All that happened in Minnesota, including the deaths of Alex Petty and Renee Good, could have all been avoided. Minnesota officials have no one to blame but themselves. They are the ones that would not cooperate with the Trump administration and turn the criminals over to ICE before they were released from jail. ICE would not have to have gone door to door looking for the criminals. None of this had to happen. Now, all of a sudden, Minnesota officials are cooperating, but we are beginning with the new video, Savannah Guthrie telling her mother's kidnappers it's never too late to do the right thing.
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
So for Savannah Guthrie, we're all hoping for the best. Everybody within the sound of my voice is hoping for the best. But it's been 2 weeks. The 84-year-old mother needs her medication. Maybe she has it. We don't know. But what I've been thinking about, one way or the other, how is Savannah Guthrie going to be able to get back to work at some point hosting? I know that's irrelevant right now, but hosting the Today Show on NBC. She was forced to back out of the Olympics. How? Let's just for argument's sake assume things don't work out, and I'll leave it at that. How is she going to be able to ever get back to work and get back that cutting edge that got her to that network job? How is it going to happen? We're going to start with your telephone calls in just 1 second. Governor Dum Dum, Tim Walz in Minnesota, Mayor Jacob Fry, those clowns have nobody else to blame but themselves. Now, all of a sudden, I want you to listen to White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. Now, all of a sudden, they're cooperating, and most of the jails in Minnesota are permitting ICE to pick up the criminals once their time is done from the jail. Now, why is that important? Because you don't have to send a team of 6 agents. They're already handcuffed when they come out to the door. You can send 2 agents. The agents don't have to go into the community. If Minnesota would have done this from day one, none of this had to happen. This is Caroline Leavitt.
we have seen on the ground there. And he deployed Tom Homan to the state to do it. And Tom Homan has delivered on that mission. Two very important points. Number one, Tom Homan and President Trump have achieved an unprecedented level of cooperation from state and local officials in Minnesota. Nearly every single county has now agreed to notify ICE when they are releasing criminal illegal aliens from their jails. This creates a safer law enforcement environment for everyone, and it requires less manpower to detain these illegal aliens on the ground. And then number two, in his discussions, Mr. Homan was also able to achieve a level of cooperation with local police to arrest left-wing agitators when they are engaged in unlawful behavior, which has led to calmer situation on the ground. You're no longer seeing videos of these agitators engaging in unlawful activity to break up ICE's operations, which, again, are continuing. Nothing will ever stop President Trump and this administration from targeted immigration enforcement focusing on the worst of the worst criminals in American communities, and that includes in Minnesota.
So it made sense to do that out the gate. None of this had to happen. None of it. Absolutely none of it. 800-848-9222. Line 5, Pete in the state of New Jersey. Pete, good morning. What's on your mind? Pete, are you with me? Okay, Pete is not there. Let's go to line 2, Steve in Massapequa, Long Island. What's on your mind, Steve?
How you doing, Dominic? Thank you for having me. I would like to talk about this voter ID. Back when I graduated high school, I got a union book. It took me my high school diploma and my birth certificate to get that union book in 87. Then, all of a sudden, every job I went on from 87 to 9/11, I always had to have some form of ID to get on a job, just to get on a job. Then, after 9/11, I needed birth certificates. I needed they wanted blood from everybody. We didn't blow the buildings up, you know what I mean? So these people that are complaining about the voter ID stuff, it's absolutely absurd. What's the matter? High school diploma? And then all these people, I had to get a shot. Now, I'm retired, but I had to get a shot before I can get on a job during the pandemic, which I did not want to get a shot. I didn't want to get that shot. Otherwise, you got fired if you didn't get the shot. So all these people that came in with no ID during the pandemic, they never had their shots, and I don't think it's right that I think they should have to show some type of ID in the voting booth.
Well, I can. To me, it's a non-issue. ID. It's the game of lowering expectations, you know, and it's about voter integrity and voter fraud. You need an ID for everything in life. I can't think of a single job that you can start without having ID for HR. What is so hard about this? You know, the civil rights clowns get a hold of this. I'm talking about the politicians. Kumbaya, kumbaya, it's a violation. You shouldn't have to show ID. It's absolutely ridiculous. And as far as I'm concerned, Steve, the whole point from the other side has no merit whatsoever. Thank you for the telephone call. Let's go to Silas, line 1, Staten Island. Silas, what's on your mind?
Yeah, we all know that it's nonsense what the Democrats are doing here. They need the numbers. They need lots of people because they don't count American citizens. They count heads, and they get more people voting for them. They don't care. That's why they don't want the IDs. We all know it's nonsense, and we know damn well it's easy enough to get an ID. And if we don't get off that plantation, we're in trouble. And ignorance is something that's very hard for us to overcome. And as far as Trump, I've known all my life, he's not a racist. He's not any of these things. This man stood up for this country when things were getting so bad, and he said, enough of this nonsense. He ran for the office. He got it. They went so far as to try to kill him, and he hasn't stopped. He's working for this country because he loves it. That's why I admire the man. And when this Jasmine Crockett and all the rest of them talking about, oh, blacks are going to be disenfranchised, we all know it's garbage. We know it's a lie. It's not that they don't believe it themselves. They're simply towing the line. And this Hochul, if we don't get a Republican in there and start chipping away at this lock hold that the Democrats have on New York, I pray for New York. We had better get it together.
All I can tell you, Silas, and thank you for the call, as it relates to the governor's race in the state of New York this year, if the incumbent, Kathy Hochul, wins, Mamdani is no longer the mayor. Mamdani is the governor and the mayor if she wins this election. So, because at the bottom line, he's calling all the shots now. Period. Exactly. Mamdani is, thank you for the call, Silas. Mamdani is the king of New York. Let's go here to Jim, line 3 in Secaucus, New Jersey. Jim, good morning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I was wondering if that voter bill clears and they add stuff and take it off. Would it be better if they put a thumbprint on? This way women couldn't use the maiden name, married name, and criminals and illegal aliens would not vote, because that's 1,000% proof, a thumbprint. Like in California during the Perry Mason, they had that.
I don't see that happening, Jim. We're having a hard enough time with just a driver's license. But the whole thing is stupid as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for the call. Lisa in Connecticut. What's on your mind, Lisa?
Hi, long time no speak. How are you?
I wanted to say Lisa in the Cult Jam from a popular song.
Yeah, I'm over here now. I'm back. So I'm glad to hear you. Thanks for taking my call. It's funny because, Poppy, my dad, is getting older and, managing a lot of everything for him. He's 84, so he lost his wallet a couple weeks ago.
Hey, wait, Lisa, do me a favor, do me a small favor. Yeah. Please, I want you to hold on because I really want to take your call. I'm up against a heartbreak that I have no choice in the matter. It'll cut me off if I don't take it. So just please hold on. I got to do another small segment and then I'm coming right back to you. Please, I want to continue. Stay with me, Lisa in the Cult Jam. We're going to take a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to line 2, Lisa in Connecticut. Lisa, I apologize for that. So you said your dad, I think, is 84 years old?
Yes, so he lost his wallet. He's going through the time in his life where he's starting to lose things. We all lose our things, normally. It's like, where's my keys? But now it's starting to get a little bit more, more concerning. So I had taken photocopies and backed up all of his stuff beforehand because I just had a feeling.
Hey, Lisa, wait. Can you pick up if you can pick up the phone, we can hear you much better.
I am on a pickup phone.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe it's just a connection. Okay. So your dad is losing things. Go ahead.
Bad? So my point is that I had to go to a major bank in order to get him a new debit card. Okay.
Okay.
And I had a photocopy of his old license, a photocopy of his old debit card, and everything, like all the paperwork showing that I just put through to pay for a new license to come in the mail. 20 days it takes, in the state of Connecticut, blah, blah, blah. All the paperwork to back it up. And I have accounts there as well at this bank. They give us the hardest time to even get it. She relayed his ID. I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but my dad lost his wallet. He's 84 years old. He lost everything. Like, I have all the photocopies, everything here showing you that this is it. Just for one time only, we'll put it through. So it was so crazy. I was like, I can't even believe the rigmarole that we had to go through to get a new debit card without his license.
No, I understand, Lisa, and I feel your pain. It's just very hard to hear you now. But the flip side of that is, the banks have to be careful because people come in. Everybody doesn't have a good heart like you do. And sometimes even relatives come in and they're trying to get like a power of attorney over the account. And then they rob these senior citizens blind. And so, so the bank is in a very tough position. Did you achieve what you needed to get done?
Yeah, we did, and she was just like one time only. But you know what? And then it never came. The debit card that she said that she put through never came. So then we called on the phone one day, and we got somebody on the phone to verify things. And we had to pay. I was like, "Can you do it expedited, please?" Because I asked her about that also. And so for $15, we were able to get an expedited one, and we had to do it over the telephone. The lady at the branch didn't even do the job the correct way. So it's crazy. Like, your ID is so important for everything, you know?
Right. I don't. So Lisa, you tell me, and then I have to go because the phone line is bad. But you tell me, why do people object to wanting to show an ID, something that's so basic?
I don't know. I really don't know. Even when you get pulled over by the cops or whatever, like, why engage in a situation? Like, just show your ID. You're not doing anything wrong. Like, just identify yourself so you know that you're like a proper human being. Like, it's just part of general life. It's a basic thing that we've always done. So what's the problem?
What's the problem? I'm going to be honest with you. The race hustlers get a hold of the topic, and then there goes that. Lisa, I'm glad it worked out for you and your dad. Thank you for the patience of holding on for me. Don't be a stranger. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much for the call. Let's go to line 3. Richard in Philadelphia. Richard, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic.
Good morning.
If the Democrats don't think you need ID to vote, then you shouldn't need ID when you go apply for welfare or Social Security check. That's what you need.
But wait a minute now. So you're going to give somebody a welfare check without ID?
They don't think you need ID to vote, then why do you need ID to go collect the welfare?
But Richard, you'd be giving them exactly what they want if you did that.
I know that. That's what I'm trying to say.
But wait, no, I don't. I think you're making the exact opposite point. Why would you want to give them something where they can commit more fraud?
Dominic, this country has changed. It's not like we grew up to. It's totally different. The mentality is hooray for me, to hell with you.
Yeah, that's true, Richard. That's so very true. And it's, I don't know, it's screwed up. And, and when you have people like Biden and Kamala, and you tell people the truth, they just don't want to hear it. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And I want to focus on something that I've talked about a few weeks ago, about how in New York City and perhaps in a state near you, that anti-Semitism has gone through the roof. I'm going to get to that in just 1 second as it relates to something that the former governor of New York State said, Andrew Cuomo. You can love him, you can hate him, but he was telling the truth. But Matt Blaze, I got a bone to pick with you on a Monday morning. So first of all, sir, have you lost any family members or friends over the presidential election? I mean, I cannot believe. I always thought
I would never come, at least on my end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about what other people do.
Right.
But I've always said that would never get in the way of any friendship for me. I can't control what other people do.
Right.
But I can control what I do, and I would never let that get in the way. I just wouldn't. And that goes for not just politics, but for anything. Like when you hear of like family members that haven't talked to each other, most of the time it's always over money. But
see, I always thought that there was an overriding issue involved. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it
could be.
But I'm just shocked because we hear these stories every day, right? And then for someone that I started out college with, right? She went into education, became a teacher in Florida. I went into journalism, right? And I've always been proud. So out of SUNY Cortland, I'm going to show them a little bit of my arrogance right now. So if you look online, out of SUNY Cortland, New York State, they have a who's list and who are their most famous graduates.
Oh, do they now?
And I'm number 3. And I'm pissed off that I'm not. I shouldn't say I'm pissed off.
Well, who's 1 and 2?
The actor that did what's that movie? He plays like a security guard all the time.
Kevin James?
Kevin James. He and then a wrestlers too. I'm like 8 or something like that. And I'm like, you know, but this person, you know, was always happy for me. And because I support Trump, I mean, she just lost her. You got your beeps ready. She lost her goddamn mind.
I just can't. It's not in me to not like someone or be friends with a person over politics, no matter what mine are or theirs are. It doesn't matter. Like, I just wouldn't. I'd be like, we agree to disagree.
That's what I want to say too. But so like, for example, Blaze, my family, they'll tell you, if you go up to Dominic at a family function and try and talk politics, he'll literally walk away from you. And I will. Because how dare you in my personal time think that I want to sit here and talk politics?
Yeah, because, you know, I think that I'm as middle down the road as you can get. And I know that everything's not as cut and dry. So I know that everything's not as bad as people want it to be, and everything's not as great as people want it to be.
Okay,
it's always somewhere in the middle.
So help me out with something here, and then I'll tell you what I got a bone to pick with you. Why? Not all, but some blacks lose their mind if you're black and you support Trump. Why is that? Mike Tyson supports him.
You're asking the white guy?
I'm asking the white guy. I'm asking, why is that? Mike Tyson supports him. Right. I can give you a list of prominent black people. We know what's the rapper? What's her name? She supports him.
Nicki
Minaj. Why can't I support who I want to support? Why do I got to stay on a Democrat plantation?
Free.
And free is never free. Look at what Mamdani's doing in New York now. He's like, I planned on, I can't do it now.
Of course.
So here's the bone I got to have to pick with you. So Jerry just put on my Twitter that in Montana, not only do we got to worry about the rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Not only do we got to worry about the moose.
Yeah.
Not only do we got to worry about the grizzly bears. But also the buffaloes, where the buffaloes roam. Why didn't you tell me that?
I'm looking at a list
of
really? What we got to worry about. Forget the buffaloes. You got
buffalo
wolves.
hits you.
You got wolves.
Oh.
Mountain lions.
Oh.
Elk. Wolverines.
What?
Yeah. Wolverines, bobcats, coyotes.
All in Montana?
Eagles, falcons, hawks.
An eagle can do some damage.
That's what I'm saying. A hawk?
Yeah, a hawk too.
Hawk will 200 miles an hour come diving at you.
That fast?
Yeah. Hawks are fast.
Wow.
I used to think, I used to always say that I'm going to move to Montana one day. I used to say that. I go, I grew up in the metropolitan area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, my whole life. I'm going to move to like Montana, where there's like nothing around. And then I thought, and I go, can I really do that?
I don't see you in Montana.
I mean,
you're a city slicker.
Well, not so much that I'm a city slicker, but
close to it.
Right, but when I grew up 20 miles north of the biggest city in the world, known as the capital of the world, where for most of my life I thought how New York is. How do you not know New York? How could you've never been to New York City? When you're a little kid, you think like everybody's like this.
Right.
And not realizing that, no, we're an exception. Most of the country is like this small town, rural America. I'm like, now, can I do that? I used to think I could. Nah, I don't know.
Well, I told you, I'm good to about 70, and then I will disappear. I will drop off drop off the grid.
You're going off the grid? You're
I'm
going
going
off
the grid, never to be heard from publicly again. Ever, 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 ever.
Cold or warm? Where you going, Dominic?
No alligators.
So you're not going to Florida?
No grizzly bears.
I know you're going to end up.
Where?
Like San Diego.
I'm not really California, but
someplace where it's like
I can't
warm,
go. I can't go to
like...
California. You know why I can't go to California?
Why?
Kamala, can't do it. Can't do it.
No.
Aunt Kamala, can you please go sit down over there and put that drink down? Aunt Kamala, please go eat some ribs. Are you black or Indian today? Which one, Aunt Kamala?
I would love to see you out some night in San Diego at a restaurant and Kamala walks in.
I'd be like, hello, Senator. Hello, former vice president. Notice I said former vice president, right?
You from across the room. Kamala!
But
Kamala! I'm over here. Dom Carter. I am.
Matt Blaze, oh boy, thank you so much. Yeah, I might do it. Kamala! She'd be like, boy, what is wrong with you? I'd be like, are you black today or are you Indian American today? Are you Indian American? Where's Willie Brown? No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't, because she's married now. I wouldn't say that. That's not fair, Matt Blaze.
It's not
That's
nice.
not fair and it's not nice. And you wouldn't say that to a man, so don't say it to a woman, right? Aunt Kamala, please go sit down. Go sit down. No more drinks for you, Aunt Kamala, at the picnic. Go sit down.
You send her over a drink.
Oh, my God. No. But getting serious now. So I was just playing around with Matt Blaze there about what states I can't go to. The latest one is Montana. We have to go to with Juliana in Australia. Just stay away from them lakes, boy, with them super large crocodiles, and they angry. Ooh, stay in the middle of Australia, right? We'll stay in the middle of Melbourne.
All right, let's go.
You ready?
Melbourne. Watch the koalas and the kangaroo.
Right, but the flight would be like 18 hours.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
Longest flight you've been on. I'm going to Africa. I think I was on a 21-hour flight.
No, I was to California once, and that's 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's
whenever I go to California, I was like the red eye, going and coming, so I'm not wasting any time. Get on the plane, go to sleep, wake up, you're there, crash after your first day of business.
There you go.
But thank you, Matt Blaze. One topic, and folks, we see your telephone calls. We're going to get right back to them that I want to get back to. Anti-Semitism, a very, very serious one. Cuomo, you can like him or you can hate him, right? But he is highlighting the issue. And in New York City alone, in the month of January, anti-Semitism skyrocketed for 1 month, 182%. It's disgusting. It's reprehensible. This is the former governor of New York State, former candidate for mayor of New York City, Andrew Cuomo.
Where is the condemnation now? When the Bukharian rabbi was beaten in Queens, where were the 1,000 people protest? When you hear the Department of Health is setting up a working group that is about global oppression and Israel's genocide, funded by taxpayer dollars, when they're supposed to be doing the snowstorm. Where's the outrage? I'm calling for an investigation. There should be an outpouring of support. Where's the Jewish community actually taking action? And the Christian community and the black community. It's normalizing. It's normalizing the behavior. That's why they're not even writing about it anymore. And I'm not going to stop shouting about it until people get off their keister and remember they're New Yorkers and remember Wiesel. They come for this one, they come for this one, they come for this one. I did nothing because I wasn't part of the group. They came for me. And there was no one to stand up because they were all gone. We are one. Somos uno. Every religion. It's community. That's what made New York, New York. And we have to come together as a community. And don't let this divide us.
And that's the guy, warts and all, that should have been the mayor of New York, but we're stuck with this loser called a 34-year-old young man, Mamdani, the socialists. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's go to Greg, line 5, Orange County, New York. Greg, what's on your mind?
I was left scratching my head trying to figure out why there's a sudden turn in Minnesota toward letting ICE do its job safely by taking the criminals right from the prisons and jails. And then something clicked in my head. I'm wondering if you know the movie The Untouchables, where Elliot Ness, as he's getting ready to go to the trial, he has the judge go to a sidebar and he presents to the judge the books that show that the judge was taking money from Capone. I'm wondering, when Holden went to Minnesota, if he had information showing that some of these $9 billion that was taken, he had evidence showing that some of this money got funneled into campaign accounts for the governor and some of these county supervisors or executives that changed their stances, or went into their personal accounts, that it was possibly triggered this change of heart, this 180-degree change. Seemed like it happened overnight, and I'm left wondering why. What prompted this?
That's an easy one to answer, Greg. If they had compromising information, if Holman, that wouldn't work, because they know that it would just be a matter of time until the Trump administration used it on them. What I think happened is they couldn't take the public pressure anymore. They couldn't take ICE being on the streets of Minnesota. Neither side could, frankly. But I think that the governor and the mayor had much more to lose, and they were forced to cave. So you think that there's more than meets the eye to this, huh?
I do, but your explanation is a good one. You're thinking that the good people of Minnesota finally started to turn the screws on their local politicians?
Pressure on local politicians. They couldn't handle it anymore. Let's face it, Tim Walz is not the brightest bulb in the bunch, and neither is neither is Mayor Fry. Like, Mayor Fry thinks that he's like Somalian, eating Somalian food. I maybe if I was the mayor, I would eat Somalian food. I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. That's just my perspective. But it's a good thing though, right? That they're cooperating now, right?
So much safer to do it this way. They're already in custody. Just transfer custody over.
Absolutely. But it took these, I almost use the term where Blaze would have to beat me. It took these NIM, and I'll leave the rest of it out. It took them a while to figure this out, that's the safe way to do this. Greg, thank you for the call. Time for a break. We're coming right back with more of your telephone call.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
So, Matt Blaze, Let's Go Pitt says people always get attacked by buffalo out at Yellowstone because they get too close to them. So, you can get to Yellowstone National Park through several states. And at 1010 or something like that, I gave a speech in the middle of one of their resorts. And you could see the wildlife, right? But let me tell you what I found crazy. You go to the local restaurant, they had like buffalo steaks, buffalo burgers. Of
course.
They had all types of wild animals. Ew.
You didn't eat any of that stuff?
Ew.
No buffalo burger, bison burger?
Bison burgers, that's what they had. Bison burgers. And
yeah.
Have you had that before?
I think I did once. It all tastes the same to me.
They had I think they had deer and... But yeah, buffaloes can they're very strong, and you get too close up on them, and you think they're docile, and then bang, and they hit you. You got a problem,
So you were in a resort?
Yes.
In Yellowstone?
Yes. in a hotel.
Did you do anything when you were there, or you just speak?
No, I was under the weather, and as I've said, I become a very big baby when I'm under the weather, and I wanted to cancel the speech, but I didn't want to give back the money, and I wanted to keep the money without giving the speech, and so I had to do the Vicks vapor rub under my nose so I could breathe. Why at nighttime you can't breathe with a cold? And so I gave the speech. Everything went fine, but I wasn't going out there with those wild animals. I mean, that wasn't going to happen.
Nah, stay away from the woods.
And you could drive your car through it, you know.
I'll go to Jellystone.
Jellystone?
Yeah, with Yogi Bear and Boo Boo.
I got Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. Hey, Boo Boo, smarter than the average bear.
Hey, Boo Boo, let's go snatch some picnic baskets.
That's pretty good. Thank you, Matt Blaze. Let's go to Steve, line 2 in New Jersey. Steve, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dom, let me say, you and Matt Blaze are hilarious. You guys
He's got on his Batman T-shirt today.
Straight to the point.
But wait, Steve. You know, he be creeping in the middle of the night when he's done at 5 a.m. in the morning. He makes a stop in Lower Manhattan to see a certain woman.
You're telling all those secrets, Dominic.
All right, Steve, you got the floor.
Straight to the point. Here's why Waltz and Fry caved. Ready? Trump sent the enforcer, and that's what Tom Homan is. He's the immigration enforcer, and he read in the Riot Act quite politely. He said, "Gentlemen, we have some evidence that perhaps the DOJ is looking into that. You're organizing these riots through signal chat."
I can see that happening. Yes.
And therefore, we may be recommending that the AG indict you. By the way, I understand they may also be. I don't know for sure, but they're also looking at possible indictment for all that money that went missing in the Somali community. And these two cowards caved, folded like a chief suit. And let this be a lesson: when our side, tough guys and gals, stand up to them, they're a bunch of cowards. Read them the Riot Act. We're right, they're wrong, and they cave. What do you say, Dom?
I think you might be right on that, Steve. Great point. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. I really think Steve is correct there. And because when Holman showed up, it's like, okay, time for playing is over. They're not joking around anymore. Let's go to line 1. John in Reno, Nevada. John, what's on your mind?
Dominic, I'll tell you, I'm so glad the counties in Minnesota are cooperating now. This whole issue is what started the sanctuary cities movement. Years back, the Republicans wanted illegal immigrant criminals released from jail to go straight to border control to be sent home. And the Democrats resisted and came up with this crazy sanctuary city idea. We have finally turned the corner.
Okay, so you think it's a positive move?
Oh, it's very positive, because it will set the stage for other states. There's a handful of other states that eventually will have to backtrack the way Minnesota did, and this sets up a template for how it's going to proceed.
You know what? I think you may be right there, John. Thank you for the great call. Thank you so much, Reno, Nevada. So, soundbite number 6, Matt Blaze. This is oh no, wait a minute. We're completely out of time here. Completely out of time. I do apologize. We'll get to that tomorrow. But to the folks on hold, I do apologize we didn't get to your calls. I am back at 3 p.m. Eastern. Do me a favor, please. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.